AI is ruining the internet. And in this video, I'm not even going to talk about deep fakes or the physics defying videos that AI has generated. I want to touch upon three different points of how I feel that AI is ruining the internet, on which I grew up and I built the knowledge. Most of the things that I learned it on the internet than a formal education. Even though I'm a computer science engineer, I learned a lot of computer science on the internet and books, not just on the university campus or whatever it is. I want to address three different points I feel that AI could be negatively impacting our life. The very first thing is, have you ever gone to ChatGPT and then asked something controversial? Let me show you a quick demo. So I've gone to ChatGPT and I'm going to say, why do you think biryani is bad for health? And you would see that ChatGPT will give you an answer that is pretty much very agreeable. ChatGPT is not going to challenge you. ChatGPT is not going to tell you what you are asking is wrong. Even though I'm not saying that this is wrong or right, that's beyond the point of this question. But the point with AI, or what people predominantly use with this large language models, is that they always tend to give you an answer that is pretty much agreeable. It's very hard for you to disagree with them, and even if you disagree with them, they'll probably make you agree with them. Like, for example, I asked, why do you think biryani is bad for health? We got an answer. Now there is somebody else probably going and asking, why do you think biryani is good for health? It's going to answer. Let's say somebody else who does not like exercising is going to say, why do you think exercising is bad for health? And you just have to ask question, and then it says it's not bad for health, but then it again gives you the points about why is it bad for health. So the main important point, the first point that I wanted to touch upon, is these tools. As these tools become so ingrained in the culture that we are part of, these tools are really powerful for you to learn something new, which we have seen multiple times covered on this channel. But again, the point is, it's not going to give you something out of the box. It's going to give you what you want to hear. It's like an echo chamber. You ask something and then it is going to give you exactly what you want to. In fact, Jeremy Howard, who is one of the most popular teachers on the internet for deep learning, has recently said, absolutely anytime I try to explore something even slightly against commonly accepted beliefs, LLMs always just rehash the commonly accepted beliefs. As a researcher, I find this behavior worse than unhelpful. It gives the mistaken impression that there is nothing to explore. This is the second point that I wanted to explore or discuss or put forward, which is, if you want to use AI for innovation, it depends what you want to call as innovation. If it is just purely creating a new application, create a React application, a front-end application, a new software application, then it is fine. You can use AI for that innovation. But if you want to use AI for some kind of a breakthrough, I mean, Google DeepMind is doing, but that is a totally different way of approaching a problem. But if you want to use the tools that we have got, let's say Claude, OpenAI, or Hugging Chat, or whatever LLM based tools that we have got, if you want to use them for breakthroughs and innovation, it is very hard, because of the same reason that we discussed in the first, and the reason that Jeremy Howard that is pointing out here is, they work based on a latent space or whatever knowledge that they have been trained on. It's not just because you give them hydrogen and give them oxygen, they are going to figure out that, oh, I can take hydrogen and I can take oxygen and I can make water. That is not what an LLM is doing yet. Maybe AI will go into the direction which is what people are expecting, and which is what AlphaFold and all the techniques that DeepMind is doing. But the LLMs that we are using is not that. It's not trying to create a new compound. Rather, what it is trying to do is, it is trying to use what it has been trained on and then give you an information. And in this process, if you expect breakthroughs to come through this, you're not expecting breakthroughs. If you're using AI to increase your productivity, well and good. If you are using AI to accelerate your programming, well and good. But if you are using AI for a breakthrough, it is not going to work for the same reason that Jeremy Howard has mentioned. The third reason why I think AI is ruining the internet is primarily because of the information overload and the noise and spam that we are pumping on the internet in the name of content creation. I mean, like, every time before I make a video, I try to make sure, at least from my part, that I'm not trying to ruin the internet by creating something that is terrible from my perspective, you might feel that this video itself is terrible, but in my perspective, I try to put out the content that I feel that I would watch. Otherwise, I don't want to put it out. In the same way, a lot of companies, content creation is one of the most used use cases about AI, and a lot of these articles are written by AI. Writing articles by AI has a very bad feedback loop effect with us. Like, let me give you a quick demo. You use a tool like Perplexity. Perplexity is something that a lot of people use. Now, what happens when you actually create content that is pure, complete noise from AI? So you're getting into a feedback loop. So I can go to Perplexity and ask any question, like for example, new airports may have cameras. That's a question that they have got. So if you search, you can see a bunch of news publications there with you. Now imagine that you are asking question about a niche topic where you don't have like these popular applications. Unlike Wikipedia, where there is not an editorial team that actually validates whether the information is true or not. Unlike Google, where PageRank is a very important validation, domain authority, and a lot of other things come into picture. When you purely rely on AI based answers, you are in for a disaster after a particular point. We saw this with Google Search Labs experiment, and we will start seeing that with prompt injection and a lot of other techniques where people will try to inject the noise, the information, the misinformation that they want you to learn and understand. So it's not just with text, it's also with programming. Stack Overflow is what we used a long time to learn programming. I had a habit of going to Stack Overflow. I'm a professional data scientist. So I used to have a habit of going to Stack Overflow and reading R and Pandas and Python related questions just to understand what is the problem that people are facing. And that is how I learned a lot of programming that I do today, or probably I was doing. Now maybe I don't remember it, because thanks to ChatGPT, I ask every single dumb question on ChatGPT and my brain does not remember all the programming. So that's a different thing. But the point here is that if you are going to create information noise, feed that information back to LLMs and AI and use that information for somebody else's knowledge, then you are actually creating a vicious cycle in which all you are creating is AI generated content. And I believe that this is going to be a recipe for a disaster until there is some kind of good validation that is happening. We have got a lot of LLM as a judge application, but I think this is going to become a huge problem in the future about how we evolve as a community and content engine. Anyways, this is just my perspective. I'm not even touching upon deepfakes and physics defying videos and all the stupid things that people generate with AI and AI influencers using all this stupid AI generated images to make people believe that they're spending their vacation in Maldives. But the point here is that I think that if we do not use these things cautiously, if you're going to blindly believe everything that comes out of AI, if we use AI just like the current form for breakthrough and then start consuming everything and create everything using AI, I think it is ruining the internet. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. See you in another video. Happy prompting.